Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to You, Me, and the UKTC, the show in which we deep dive the UKTC mission pack and tell you everything you need to know in order to be successful at UKTC events. Many moons ago, it was the job of Mr. Ed to create a wonderful series in which he spoke about all things necessary, and it's now my job. So let's see if I can manage it. Let's crack on. Okay, so time for the final mission for us mere mortals, mission number 5, which is the classic Scorched Earth with inspired leadership. Scorched Earth is pretty simple. It's 5 points for each objective you hold up to 10. So, what that basically means is you're going to hold your home field and you're going to hold one other objective, which is usually your natural expansion objective. Um, there's an action you can do which involves burning an objective. And if you burn an objective at the end of the game, you get 5 points for all the no man's land objectives you burn and 10 points for the one if you manage to burn your opponent's deployment zone. In the old days, you could only ever burn one no man's land objective. You can now burn multiple no man's land objectives. So that's really important to note. Okay. Inspired leadership is something like +1 leadership if you can see a warlord within 12 inches. Something like that. Doesn't really ever come up. Who cares? Anyway, general approach. If you hold 2 the whole game, you get 40 points. Love that. Nice and easy. So if you want to get that 50, you are going to have to burn 2 no man's land objectives or your opponent's deployment zone. Important to note. Usually, both opponents score well on this mission. Okay, or both players, sorry, score well on this mission. So therefore, it means it can come down to cards a bit, but it also can mean if you're able to give your opponent a 5, that could be really big. So trying to actively deny primary on this mission is really good. Your natural expansion objective is your middle L. Your natural expansion is your upper L, sorry, where that 8 and 20 is. It does mean that combat armies can deploy aggressively in that middle L to push on and try and knock you off. It is a bit of a long move, but if they've got fast moving infantry or jetpacks or something like that, they can absolutely get there. I mean, heck, if you haven't got much shooting, they can just deploy really aggressively and basically see into that objective immediately. And it might well be you haven't put your tanks in or anti-tank in a position that can shoot their stuff. So deployment's really important and watching what your opponent is doing. And maybe if you see they've put down their big guns in a particular place which isn't kind of challenging your ability to just march straight up to their no man's land objective and deal with it, then hey, take advantage of it. I think if you do see your opponent lining up to take your no man's land objective, it's really important that you have the ability to switch and take their natural expansion objective and turn the game into Dawn of War. I played World Eaters a while ago. Last game was an event, and he had his whole army set up just to run over there. So I just immediately started shifting over down to the other side of the board and was able to take that objective instead. So yeah, really important that you are able to kind of switch if you need to. Just don't forget to burn. Like some players just forget. It does now complete at the end of the battle as well, so you can do it round 5. One little thing, the secret mission to hold 3 objectives that aren't your own. If you choose that one and your opponent's burning away all the objectives, or you're burning away the objectives, that can cause problems. Because if only one objective is burnt, then you need to hold the 2 no man's land and your opponent's one. And if 2 are burnt in no man's land, then you're not going to be able to score that secret mission. So it's not going to come up very often, but it is something just to bear in mind. We've discussed this map before. So if you've watched the previous videos, you'll know what I'm about to say. There's loads of great places for sabotage. Top left-hand corner and that middle L are great places. Containment's easy in the top left-hand corner because you can just sit in your terrain and do it. But the bottom right is a harder one to do. You kind of have to deploy in the kind of like just off the edge of that middle L, and depends on whether they can get angles to shoot you, I guess. But it might be one that you have to take a 3 on. And then again, obviously, you have easy access to the middle. So to try and have something an inch away from the wall on that middle L, just to stop the big area denial, make them deal with you. But you can establish locus from there as well. So there you go, guys. That is mission 5 done, and with it, the end of the series. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it. I have recorded all of this in one burst late at night on a Sunday, so maybe in terms of the future and past, you will hate me what I've done and think this is a waste of time. Hopefully not. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do give us a like, subscribe. If you have your own thoughts on the different missions, then put them in the comments, and let's really support each other to try and play these missions as well as they can, because UKTC are always thinking about how they can change and adapt these missions, and obviously done a good job of just bringing more line of sight blocking stuff down, creating some more staging areas. It's an interesting time, so yeah, let's go out and enjoy our missions, and I look forward to seeing you at a UKTC event very soon. Take care.